Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty and the host of the program. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's real estate authority, that is Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. She is an author. Barb Schlinker is also a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking to you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday at 11 o'clock. And if you can't listen to the entire show, it's always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or you can look for the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, and all of the other ones. Barb, what are we covering today?
Well, hello, Richard. And I'm really excited about today's show because we're going to talk about some things that I'm getting a lot of questions about right now. So the first one's going to be why home sales will probably climb into 2024. And then the next thing, I get a lot of questions on when people call me and they go, my house isn't selling. I'm with another agent. What do I do? And, of course, I can't interfere with somebody else's contract, but we're going to talk about if you were to make a move from one agent to another, how you change real estate agents midstream. And then the third topic is going to be fun because a lot of people don't know this, that when you buy a new home, it's a really good idea to have somebody on your side. That's because the builders don't have to use the state forms. They invite you in with those beautiful models and they're like, oh, just come on over, sign the contract. But there's some landmines to not having your own representation. So that topic's going to be why you need a real estate agent when you buy a new home. And then the last topic, and I love talking about this, are the top 6 seller mistakes that can cause a home not to sell. And of course, our hot new listings. Richard?
Now, Barb, as many people are busy right now for the holidays, this is a great time for folks to plan for their next year. What are some of your sources telling you about where this real estate market is headed next year?
Well, what was kind of different this year, and every year is a little bit different, but especially this year, what we saw is that the Fed really pumped up the rates again later in the year. And they went in October as high as over 8%, which really stepped on the brake pedal for buyers wanting to buy homes, mainly just because they were unaffordable. Since then, the rates have dropped a little bit, but during that time when the rates were high, our available homes started rising. Homes were not getting sold, so there are homes sitting on the market longer than we have seen in many years. And we ended up with rising inventory. So that was kind of a big surprise. The good news for buyers is you have more choices in that case. You have less competition. And if you're a home seller, you've got more competition. And the ultimate net effect of that is that the prices could come down. And that's exactly what we saw. The median price in October was $530. And it dropped just a few weeks ago to $499.5. So that would tell me that, that interest rate thing was a resistance point for buyers, and it really dropped off buyers' loan applications and things like that. And thus there are more available homes on the market. However, there's good news on the horizon. First of all, what happened just a few days ago is the interest rates dropped substantially. They went from probably the whole month of November, they were hovering around the low 7s somewhere. And then all of a sudden at the end of last week, after the Fed came out and said, okay, I'm not going to raise rates anymore, I might be lowering it some next year, almost instantly across 2 days, the 30-year mortgage rate dropped to 0.5%. That was the biggest drop that we've seen in quite a few months. So early in 2023, when we saw the interest rates down at 6%, or somewhere in the 6s, that's when our prices went up and our inventory went down. So the good news is right now we're seeing about 5% more pending sales nationally. So if you are thinking of making a move and you need to sell your home, you really need somebody to help you get all of what I call the 4 Ps right. Number 1 P is preparation. Buyers are going to turn their nose up at homes that need a lot of work unless they're priced super aggressive. P number 2 is picking the right agent. I still see it. In fact, I just talked to a really nice couple last week about their home that's been sitting on the market. And when I looked at the pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could fix this, And then pricing is absolutely critical. So if you overprice a home and don't stay on top of what's going on in the market, it's going to sit there. It's going to take longer and longer and longer for it to sell, if it sells at all. And the 2 things that an agent controls are basically promotion and helping you with information about what's going on in the market. So if you get an agent that doesn't promote your home properly, doesn't get great pictures, doesn't create demand, it could cause more time to sell your home. It could also cause your home not to sell at all, which we're seeing right now. I think it's about 47% of home sellers in the past several weeks have actually lowered their price because they're not selling. So we have a free report to help you do that. It's called the Top 7 Tips to Get Your House Ready to Sell for Top Dollar. You can order that report by going to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on the green button right on top, or give us a call at 719-301-3900. So as we look at the big change in median sales price, you have to kind of take a hard look at what's going on in the market. So as of June, the median sales price of June of 2023 was $578, and now it's $499. So we are seeing a drop in prices, but the problem is some of these real estate agents are telling their sellers, oh, look, that one sold for $578. Your house is worth that much. And you know what? It's sitting there. It's not selling because buyers buy on house payments. So here's a mistake on the buyer side. If the buyers, and I know there's a lot of buyers kind of sitting on the sideline. What happened when the rates were down at 3% is the buyers had to compete with other buyers, even investors, to get homes, right? So some of them said, we're going to take a pause on this because I don't want to overpay for a house. So some of them just decided to wait. They started to wait for the prices to fall or for the rates to fall. But there is a problem with that, right? Because we don't know what the future is going to bring. There's no way I can predict interest rates or where the market really is going. All I can do is look at the data and give you a more educated guess, right? So if you're waiting for the right time, it's almost like timing the stock market. You may never find the bottom. So you have to do what works for you. And if you see the right house and you can afford that right house at that price, then go for it. Home ownership is really important. It's like the American dream. And so you're not going to go wrong because I do believe the home values over the long term are going to go up. They always have in the past. So rules of thumb. And the thing to watch, of course, are the interest rates. So if the rates go up, guess what? The number of available homes go up and the prices might come down. If the rates drop like they just did, that means the number of available homes is also going to drop and you're going to have to compete with other buyers. Another thing to watch for is that when you see a big drop like that in interest rates, it's not necessarily the rate itself that causes buyers to jump on it and make offers on homes. It's actually a change in the rates, which we have just seen of a huge 0.5% drop just like that. So definitely keep an eye on the interest rates. In October, we're at 8%. Right now, we're at 6.64. That's a big difference just in 2 months. And that means there's a lot more buyers that can afford homes. The other thing, too, is you're going to have new construction competition as well, right? New construction sales represent about 1/3 of the sales right now, and they've actually increased their market share. So you're competing with a brand new, fresh, beautiful home. And if you don't get your home ready for sale, it could mean that a buyer might opt for a new home because they don't want to have to spend money on all the updates. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. I'm also the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team. And we're talking about whether or not sales will climb into 2024. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what buyers and sellers should expect early into 2024. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. One of our services is if you are moving to give you a free in-home consultation on what to do, what not to do to get your house ready for sale, go over all the closing costs, show you all of our buyers, even our cash buyers, so you can make a great decision about where to go from there. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the current real estate market and how people can be prepared if they want to buy or sell. So what should home buyers and sellers expect to do in a market situation like this one?
Well, Richard, we think that lower inventory as compared to what we saw 5-6 years ago is going to be the new normal, at least for a decade, because there's so many people sitting on those low interest rates right now. They have a house and they have to think twice about moving to their next home because their payment's going to be a lot higher. So buyers should not wait until prices and rates fall. If they can afford it and they like the home, I would not wait, because I think over time, the values are going to go up. And then home sellers need to really be very, very careful about where they price a home. Sitting inventory for a home seller is not your friend. Nobody likes to sit on the market for a long time and show their house over and over and over again and hope for a buyer. The best case is to price it realistically right out of the gate, because you're going to get the most buyer interest in the first 30 days when it's on the market. So if you're a buyer, and you see the rates drop some more, get ready to face higher competition. And if you're a seller, get your home ready for sale. Like, make sure curb appeal's right, update that tired flooring and broken stuff, neutralize dramatic paint. And that's part of what we do. We actually help people get ready. And so we give that free service of helping you get the 4 P's right: pricing it right, preparing it right, picking the right agent, and making sure your home is properly promoted. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. We actually have over 27,781 buyers just on my little website looking for homes, and typically I can match at least 100 to your home. Plus we have 64 high net worth cash buyers that will make offers right away. So give us a call at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and she is the proprietor of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. You're listening to the program, and if you want to get in touch with Barb to talk to her, give her a call at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be talking about how to change real estate agents midstream. You don't want to miss that.